Our next lesson focuses on accessibility and usability, both from the instructor side as well as the learner side. So we want to encourage all of our faculty developers to develop course content with accessibility and usability in mind. And we can do that easily by approaching course development under the principles of UDL, or Universal Design for Learning. Essentially, UDL seeks to eliminate barriers to content, barriers to learning. And these barriers could be a number of different things. It's not solely focused on students that may require an accommodation. Instead, it's looking at content in a way that can be versatilely digested by each learner, regardless of whatever need or accommodation they may have. So what we aim to do in our course developments is create materials that are accessible. By accessible, I mean that they're easily read, easily or intuitively organized, and that they're dynamically formatted in a way that can be navigated by multiple devices. So my students who would benefit from captioning of videos can get the captioning, they can read the video, or they can read the narration going on in the video. My students who may have dyslexia and may struggle with reading text, that text can be narrated by an audio program. My students who may have loss of sight or something like that, we can present content in a way where a screen reader could go through and either read aloud or navigate that content. These small changes in the development process of the content go a long way about when we're talking about just eliminating barriers. Students across the spectrum would be able to benefit from an accessibly designed, an accessibly conscious course. And so what we try to do here is utilize that template. We know that one of the most accessible forms of content is the HTML text. And while plain and simple HTML may not be that fancy or snazzy, we can utilize the HTML templates that we've provided for you. We can utilize the image packs. We can utilize a couple of different electronic embeds to help diversify that aesthetic, while also, paying particular attention to the accessibility. So your course can look good and the accessibility and usability does not have to suffer. So in this module, I have included several resources that talk about what it means to design accessible courses, what it means to approach course design under the principles of UDL, and what it means to look at the usability of your course and make decisions based on improving that usability. Because in the end, we want the student, and I continuously reiterate this throughout the guide, we want the student to expend cognitive resources on the learning skills that you're wanting them to conquer, that you're wanting them to master. We don't want them expending unnecessary cognitive skills trying to navigate something, or trying to understand a process, or trying to understand the scaffolding needed for an assignment. Instead, we want them to focus on truly creating a valuable product for you to assess their content mastery. And so the purpose of this lesson is just to overview what it means to design accessibly, what it means to produce content in a way that's versatile enough so that a myriad of learners can approach the content without any sort of barrier or issue. It's always a good practice to be proactive when you are developing your content. Proactive, accessible design really decreases the amount of time you have to spend being reactive should a student need an accommodation, or should a student encounter an issue using your content or course.